The title of the story is Mzungu. Am I saying that right?
Say it for me. Mzungu. Mzungu.
Mzungu.
Mzungu.
I think Olu said something else. Something like Mzungu.
Well, the term Mzungu is a Swahili word.
Basically means a white man.
Mzungu.
Which also stands for boss.
You know, the one who controls things.
I'm a boss. When I go to Kenya, they're gonna say, that's Mzungu right there.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, so we can't really tell you about it. It's like one of those things you just kind of have to watch and see.
I grew up in Kenya, but then a big portion of my adult life has been spent in the States. Always wanted to do was do a story that shows the underbelly of the Kenyan society. You know, people who live on the fringes of society, people who survive on the street.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense film.
Yeah.
So it's scary. It's a thriller.
Growing up, I get to see the world from two different places. You get to see what it feels like to be an African here in the United States, and then even going back to Africa now that I have pretty much become as Americanized as anybody else, seeing how I am perceived. You never see any stories that really capture that. And our story is basically the story of an American traveler
who goes to Kenya. He's
seeking thrill, seeking adventure.
Basically turned into a nightmare.
Doesn't know where he's at, doesn't know what's going on, but he's been accused of murder.
And all of a sudden he's a fugitive.
And then he's forced to fend for himself in the unfamiliar and unforgiving streets of Nairobi. But the minute I heard the nugget of the idea, I mean, he hadn't even gone through with it. He just kind of gave me this idea, and I just latched onto it immediately. I was like, dude, we absolutely have to make that. Not only do we have to make it, but you're gonna let me direct it.
Yeah, I got a phone call, and he starts telling me this wonderful idea, and I stop and I think, hey, wait a second, why didn't I think about that? And anytime you have that moment where you're like, why didn't I think about that? That's when you know it's a genius idea. He said, hey, would you like to come on board? I said, absolutely, I'm there. Here we have something that's just about, what can happen as a tourist going into another country, which we can all relate with.
Shoot it on location, real dirty, really taking it to the streets.
It's got amazing twists and turns, and everything you think it is, it isn't.
I love Hollywood films. Unabashed, love them. They're great entertainment, but at the same time, there's so much cinema around the world that people don't get to see that have equally influenced me.
It's a Hollywood film, but it has the African sensibility in it.
There's Hollywood-trained filmmakers who are going to take their Hollywood sensibilities and merge that with their African sensibilities and just make an amazing movie.
When I read this script, guys, I read a lot of scripts, but this one, as I read it, I was seeing own identity.
What's nice about this one is it's a textbook Hollywood thriller that just happens to be in an African country. And I think the merging of those two worlds, particularly with the story that these guys have put together, is something that is going to be really unique and fresh, and something that people are going to have a really great time watching.
And I think here's an opportunity to take these stories, the world that are in these African films, and present them in a Hollywood style, but from the perspective of the Africans.
This is probably one of the most original ideas I've ever come across.
It's just one of those really engaging, really multi-layered thrillers that you just never know what's coming next.
This story is critical. It's a story whose time is right.
It's inspiring, it's fast-paced, it has a lot of energy. This is a movie that's worth supporting, a movie that's worth being told.
I love this team.
My name's Olatunde Oshisami, and I'm a writer-director. I've done The Fourth Kind, which was a movie released by Universal Studios, multiple writing projects, and right now I'm doing a movie called Evidence.
It's really a strong team, creatively and otherwise.
Yeah, what can I be on this movie?
We've done small projects before, we've done projects that are relatively big, and every time I say, if I had to do the exact same project with $100 million, I'd want to work with the exact same team.
I'm like, wow, these guys are so freaking professional.
So I'm like working on this movie called Boss, and don't know, it seems pretty cool. I just want to go to Africa and, you know, there's a lot of chicks there.
The team, so professional.
What is my role on this? What is my role? I don't know.
Completely unidentified at this point.
All we need is support from you guys, and what we'll give back in return is a wonderful movie.
And actually be there, not building sets and faking Long Beach for Africa. This is actually being in Kenya, actually being in a jail cell, actually being at the docks in Mombasa. How can you pass that up as a filmmaker, as a storyteller? How can you pass up the opportunity to tell something that real and that unique?
I hope more than anything that you guys can see the passion and love that they have for this film and to help them get this made.
Whether it be financially, whether it be spreading the word via social media.
And you're gonna be so proud to have been a part of this.
Let's do this. Let's do whatever it takes to make this happen.
Put it on your Facebook profile. You can create a buzz for this project. We need your help.
You were one of the people at the ground level that contributed to this project.
Join us in this journey and this trip. Let's do something exciting. Let's do something really cool. Let's do something important.
Right? Hollywood needs a film like this. It's refreshing and it's intriguing and it's
always on the
gripping.
edge of your hands.
Yeah, man, it's like,
see it, yeah.
These guys are passionate and they believe in it in a big way.
We've
I
actually
make sure my passport's up to date.
You probably should.
Help them, give them your funds, give it to them.
Anything you can do will help us, and we sincerely appreciate your support.
I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to watch us.
We're very grateful. Thank you.
Most of us will come home, I think. I might stick around out there for an extra couple weeks. Somalia, I hear, is pretty awesome.